What's up, black acid devil dogs? Welcome to Pod Minutes of Cast Night, the 2 Minutes Late Night podcast where we listen to albums that people don't really like and we do our best to be kind to them. You're joining us on the second episode of our Danzig series this July called Dirty Black Summer.
Dirty Black Summer!
Arf, arf, arf.
Arf, 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 arf.
And you're here with Katie from the 2 Minutes to Late Night Writers Room.
You're here with Katie, America's sweetheart, number one sweetheart in America, two-time winner skee ball championship. Give me all your army men, bitch.
And you're here with my roommate and editorial producer of Kerrang, Kat Jones.
Hi, everybody. I'm not a comedian, so I don't have an introduction.
That's totally fine. Jeremy is on the longest honeymoon of all time.
It was because it was a really long train.
It was the long.
He's walking one end to the other.
He's train hopping.
Drew is taking a lot of odd jobs right now, so he's editing a video about a pool table or something. I don't know.
A hot dog.
We'll never know. So
sick.
That sounds nice.
It'll be nice. Maybe it could be it could be.
It
cool.
has potential.
Yeah. Filling in this week, we have Ryan Rigley, who you might know from 2 Minutes to Late Night. You played Emily P.
Yeah, I was shirtless on the porn parody.
Yeah.
I gave the camera the finger.
Yeah. You also danced for famed director Steven Juberg.
Yeah. I forgot about that one.
Yeah. I love that. I never forget about that one. And Eric from Methsyndicate.
What's up, guys? I've been sitting here in silence the whole time, but I've been here the whole time. It's weird.
The whole time. That's part of. Yeah, it's weird. That's how conversations work. Is you have to sit silently until it's your turn.
Oh yeah, you're right.
We could sense your presence, though. We could feel it.
Katie mentioned earlier that we all have almost bought many of your shirts.
Oh yeah, that seems to be the route. Shirts. We tend to make shirts that are funny to look at, but sometimes impossible to wear. So I totally get it.
You get a lot of Instagram likes, though, so that's pretty sweet.
If I get at 34 years old, very exciting.
I have been obsessed with the Face Off Van shoes forever.
I just had them made for myself. I wish I could point them at the microphone so you guys could hear them.
I want to take my shoes off.
Did anybody listen to anything they liked this week? Who listened to
ease the pain? Yeah. I get it.
I listened to the new Three Teeth album this week that just came out on Friday, and it was strangely appropriate for this week on the Goth Danzig record.
Yeah.
It's like an industrial band from LA. They're pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Unfortunately, I don't have anything that cool to talk about because Drew sent me all the hardcore albums he's been talking about, so I've just been listening to Drew's hardcore playlist. I keep altering between Drew's hardcore playlist and then the first two Delight albums because the summer has ruined my brain.
Same.
But I went to a party on a roof on 4th of July, and I saw this band that I want to say is called, like, Doo-Doo Patrol or some shit like that.
It's a hardcore
They did
band.
a song about Old Navy where the guy put a plastic Old Navy bag over his face, and, like, that was pretty sick.
That sounds sick. Eric,
Wish I remembered literally anything about it.
That's fair. You remembered enough. And Eric, what did you listen to that you liked this week?
I gotta go grocery shopping at like 8:30 this morning, and I listened to Aqua's debut album.
Yes, Aquarium. It's so good.
Yeah, so I played that, and besides them, Doo-Doo Patrol.
Doo-Doo Patrol.
That Aqua album.
They're taking over.
That Aqua album is like my favorite album for about 20 minutes once a year.
Yeah, exactly. It's like in the vein of Venga Boys and other bullshit. Yeah, correct.
I feel that same way about that song. Yeah. Just that it's like, oh, this song's a novelty, and then you listen to it and you're like, this is terrible.
Nah, everyone in this room would get fucking psyched if Dr. Jones came on.
That's
Don't
true.
even lie to me right now.
I like
That's
Candy.
like the song I was listening to.
Yeah.
I like Candyman because the guy gets so angry.
Yeah. Come in from Bounty Land.
It's like everything's going so well, and that one Swedish guy gets so pissed.
I love that guy. He's the best. I always thought every time I heard that album in middle school, I was always so excited because it was like pop music. But then the Mortal Kombat guy comes in and is telling someone to whip ass. And I was like, I like where everything is going here.
I've never listened to this album. I guess I'll have to listen to it now.
Oh, you've never listened to
Aqua?
Aqua?
No.
He's-
Never.
Oh.
Sorry, guys. I was
You're
listening
fine.
to metal this week, so
Yeah, what'd you listen to, Ryan?
I listened to the newest Immortal Bird album. Do you guys know
it's
them?
so good.
It's so
They're so
fucking
great.
good. It rips. It's
Are-
awesome. Do you know them?
Are they literally just called Immortal Bird?
Yeah, Immortal Bird.
Well, I like that.
Yeah, it's great. They're like black metal, sludge metal, and crust punk kind of mixed together. They're from Chicago. They have a female vocalist.
That sounds sick as shit.
It's really good. And I also listened to Abbot's new album, which is pretty good.
It is pretty good.
Yeah.
Abad
Yeah.
did a good job. Eric, have you heard of Immortal Bird?
Absolutely not. But they sound delightful.
Right?
I'm very on the loop with modern extreme music. I think once I moved to, I was very involved with like hardcore and punk growing up, and once I moved to California, I fucking went full hippie, dude. I think I still listen to like Hope Conspiracy and like Righteous Jams and shit I listened to before I moved here. But like any new music, I'll like hear stuff, but I won't retain it like I used to. But I love checking out new music for sure.
Yeah.
What's your like favorite thing right now in any genre
Like,
of music?
Like I listen to Faith No More and Fleetwood Mac on
Fuck
repeat.
yeah.
Yeah.
At work.
Sick.
Speaking my
Is
language.
Faith No More for hippies?
no.
I don't know, but I liked only extreme music growing up. So even I was just like Faith No More was too much for me to get into.
Yeah.
And when I got older, I was like, oh, I get it. And now I just like I listen to, I don't know, a lot of weird stuff.
Dude, you don't have to explain yourself to anyone on this podcast because literally the second we leave St. Vitus, Drew and I, like the whole crew, we're just listening to the Doobie Brothers. Like
I
it's
love them
yacht-
so much.
Yeah, I love them too. It's yacht rock all day. You want to have a nice time.
Before I went on this podcast, I swear to God, guys, I bought a Bob Seger bucket hat.
Yes!
Like 5 minutes before I went on the podcast.
Oh my God, go
That makes
get
me
it.
so happy.
You're not wearing it?
It's in the mail, I hope.
Oh,
gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've actually seen
yeah.
the Doobie Brothers live before.
Wow.
That's
parents,
awesome.
My parents took me to see them when I was like 11, and it was awesome.
That sounds nice.
That's great.
I've seen
I-
Doobies. That's it. Just
the object.
The thing.
Yeah.
I've seen Doobies.
I'm there.
That's all I've seen. Yeah.
This is like
Yeah.
the stoner V starts here and it stretches out.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone.
Concentrated in this corner of the room. It's okay. If I didn't have that Jaeger, I'd be there with you.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I listened to the new Torch. It was pretty good. Let's move on.
I want to talk about the Doobie Brothers.
I know. That's why I was like, we're finished. Well, I'm going to do my thing real quick. New Torch, it's good. You'll have a nice time. Doobie Brothers.
I'm just joking. I've already told Kat that I have a desire to take a group of people to a casino and see a dad band there.
And
Yeah.
I desperately
That sounds
want
nice.
to make that happen.
Yeah, we need to do a 2 minutes retreat to
100%.
Mohegan Sun.
We got to see Kenny Loggins before he dies because it's going to happen
Is he-
soon.
Fuck that. Let's go see
How-
Bob Seger.
He's not that old, is he?
Get bucket
looks-
hats. You
I
all
saw him
gotta
on
go.
that. Do you know about that Daryl Hall show? The live
no.
from Daryl's house.
No.
Daryl
never
Hall
heard of
from
this.
Hall & Oates has just people come over and jam with him like he's jamming with Chromeo.
What the fuck?
Oh, I thought you meant he's going on
What?
tour with his like actual living room theater, like Stop Making Sense style, where it's just
He
like
fucking should. It would be cool. He's got
Is
a
it
nice
called
pool.
is it called Daryl's house?
It's called Live from Daryl's House, and just like it's so funny.
so dumb.
It's so dumb, dude. It's so funny. I fell down a wormhole of watching all of them, but Kenny Loggins is on one, and he looks like he's just not gonna have bones for much longer.
Oh man. Yeah, okay.
Still full head of hair though. Like fuck him. All right.
Danzig.
Before we get into this, listen, I want to talk to each of you
We're
about
really
your
trying to
Danzig
avoid
experience.
it.
We're going to avoid it even more. Ryan, we've known each other since college. I feel like we bonded over Danzig love. How
I think
long
we
have
both
you-
had Danzig shirts at the time, right?
Yeah, I think that's why we were like, all right, this guy's got a Danzig shirt
Yeah.
on. I guess we have to talk.
Yeah. I'm actually the guy that Drew was talking about last time, I think, in the last episode, because I have a
Yeah.
Danzig tattoo and Nicolas Cage pillowcases.
You do have both,
So,
which rules.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not ashamed.
It's great. Literally
Yeah.
every man on this podcast right now has Nicolas Cage merch.
I know. I like wear them on my feet, dude.
He watched me shower for 2 years.
Yeah, exactly.
He watched me
It's-
sleep.
Yeah.
I googled this morning, how do I find Nicolas Cage's tiger shirt from the movie Mandy? No, not a reproduction, the real one, though.
It's going to be way more expensive.
I don't give a fuck.
You need the
Way
you need
more
the red
worth
thing.
it.
It's very important.
Covered in his blood.
Yes. Ryan, how did you get into? When did you find Danzig? How
Well,
did you get into it?
I started listening to Misfits in middle school. I was super into punk back then, and I listened to Danzig's stuff high school. And then freshman year of college, I just downloaded every single Danzig album, including the neoclassical stuff that he worked on, which
Yeah.
is okay. And also, apparently, he has a duet with some woman that was in Smashing Pumpkins once, which is interesting. Did you guys know about
Like
that?
I did not
Darcy?
know about
Darcy
this.
is...
No. It's Melissa Oftemure or something like that.
Oh, she like...
She was in. She was in it once. Like she wasn't a regular in Smashing Pumpkins.
It's like Dave Navarro rules. Where,
Sure.
like, he
Yeah,
was in
why
it,
not?
but now he wasn't
yeah.
really in
Well,
it.
he like plays like
He was in it for one hot minute.
Yeah.
It was literally just one song.
Boom,
It's the only
gotcha.
duet he's ever done. But he's like a grave digger, and he's just like singing about how he dug her father's grave. It's a very weird song.
I'm fucking in.
Funny,
Yeah.
too, because Kat made the observation, I agree, last week, that I feel like a lot of this music is trying to be Smashing Pumpkins.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah, and like each of them fits so neatly in a different era of Smashing Pumpkins too. Like the last one was kind of like Danzig's Adore, and this one is like Danzig's Machina. It's like everything is yelling and it's heavy and really metallic.
Sure.
Excuse me.
No, you're fine. I mean, that's just gonna sound disgusting on this episode.
I took notes for this, and I have fucking I have Smashing Pumpkins written on this notebook. I
That's
swear to God.
awesome.
God.
Yeah, everybody's on the same page. How did
Yeah.
So awesome.
So, who showed you the Misfits?
My friend Jason, and he was more into punk than I
Who
was. at
showed
first.
you the Misfits? Point it out on this chart. We're just trying to help you, son. We just want to help.
Yeah, show me on the David Lee Roth poster where it happened.
It's like between the nips.
All right, Eric, tell us your history of Danzig. When did you first hear a Danzig band? How did the love grow?
I loved like freaking grunge and all that like 93, 94 bullshit when it was coming out. It was like all I listened to. So I was the kid that knew Henry Rollins and Danzig before I realized it was Misfits and Black Flag. And then in like 98 I got into punk rock and then like heard the Misfits and was like, this dude sounds like Danzig, like a fucking idiot. So I did it ass backwards completely ass backwards. But I knew like, I was part of the MTV culture growing up, and like I saw the Mother video, the live one, like
Yeah.
that was on TV. So that's it. And my older brother, Jason as well, had the tape and he thought it sucked and he gave it to me and it was Danzig 1.
Damn.
Yeah, so I just had it on tape.
These are two very different Jasons, but we both
Yeah.
know
Or
that they
are
smoked
they?
cigarettes
That is
Yeah,
true.
well, yeah, there we go.
You're right.
Same.
And then
in middle school.
I bought. I just remembered I bought the Misfits collection one from Best Buy.
Yeah.
So there you go. Thank you, Best Buy.
That is exactly how I got into Misfits, because a girl I had a crush on told me that I should listen to the Misfits, and I was like, okay. And then I went and bought the Collection 1 CD. And just over the summer, I like tried to get into it. Because the first time you hear the Misfits, I feel like you're like, this sucks. But
Yeah.
then you like it.
Yeah, that's exactly what
Like,
happened
it
to
sounds
me.
like
It's like, what is this?
It is a
You want,
weird smell.
I don't know. As a punker, I wanted like aggressive music, not that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your Ryan? What's your favorite Danzig record?
2. Definitely 2.
Eric?
It has the best
2.
cover art because it's just like his shirtless, his chest, hairy chest.
Cover art. You just want to see them nips?
Yeah,
And strong.
That's what he's all about.
Who doesn't?
You're right.
He's shirtless as often as possible.
Masculinity is a
Yeah.
prison, Jordan. Release the nips. Sorry.
Okay. And on that note, all right. This week we all listened to, most of us for the first time, we listened to Danzig 5, Black as a Devil. That is how the album is pronounced, according to Wikipedia.
Wait,
You
what?
pronounce the album Black as a Devil.
What?
It's like
Yep.
Black Acai Devil. It's like an acai bowl that they
Yeah.
have nowadays.
I guess so. He said that in an interview one time.
I see it now.
And that
Okay, so real talk, I am dyslexic, and so I just thought this was just Black Acid Devil.
it is.
That's
Wait,
yeah.
what? Oh, I'm not crazy?
But it's also spelled like Black Acid Evil.
Yeah, I see that now. Ugh, I'm having a trouble.
Yeah.
I thought
doesn't
it
make
was
sense.
Black Acid Devil. Then I read it's supposed to be pronounced like Black as a Devil. So already I'm pissed off. Already you're making me do it too much.
I thought it just said that was like a possible pronunciation that he could have meant. I guess I have to read it again, but
Yeah, there was an interview. A quote from an interview with him says that, but the interview itself is gone. Just like this album is on no platforms.
Yeah, it was hard to
he
get to.
He
erased
didn't want
it.
any of us to hear it.
I didn't know until this morning when you had to email me the album.
to email him his album that I also downloaded in college.
Yeah.
And then I made it, like, we talked about this on the last episode. I just didn't listen past Danzig 3 because just, I'm full of, like, older brother knowledge. Like, where someone's older brother tells me not to do something, and I'm like, okay. Or they tell me a fact, and I'm like, that's a fact.
Whose brother told you that?
7 older brothers were like, dude, you can't listen past Danzig 3.
They should have let
It's
you listen
bad
to
after
4.
that.
It's 4. 4 is the end point.
Yeah. I know, I kind of know that now. But
You
yeah.
have such an authoritarian air with everything you
Yeah.
say. It's
I've listened
interesting-
to all the Danzig albums already, so
Yeah, you're our guide through this.
Help, man, I'm
Eric-
freaking out.
it doesn't get worse than this. I'll say that. The next one is okay.
We'll find out. Because our
album art is
guest
a little
next
better.
week disagrees.
yeah, he loves it.
Uh-oh.
Eric, when was the last time you listened to this album before today? And I'm sorry.
Probably 2010. I worked at a place called Newberry Comics,
Oh, shit.
and my friend put it on as my friend put it on as a joke, and I remember getting like a migraine because that first song, Seventh House, is painful. It's like the
Yeah.
worst opening track of all time.
It
It's
is
a bad start.
really awful.
Yeah, so it's funny you bring up having Jordan send you the album because he did that for me too because I couldn't find it. But then I was like, maybe I'll just. I was having trouble loading it on my phone, so I put it on YouTube and I started playing that track, and I was like, oh, this is corrupted. Like they uploaded this wrong.
How many houses has Danzig owned? That's one thing I don't know about him. Was this
Only the one,
So-
I think.
yeah, so-
he has a new one now, probably because of us. Everyone in the room got him to move.
I don't think it was just us. I think it was also his housing association. Like, you got to stop just leaving bricks on the sidewalk.
Yeah. It's bringing in lots of cat litter. Weren't there like lots of Disney statues in his house?
Looney
Oh no,
Tunes.
Tasmanian Devil. Yeah,
yeah,
you're right.
there was like a Marvin the Martian
yeah,
and some
yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah.
weird.
I
saw
love
those
them. They're so
pictures.
funny. I love them. They bring joy into my dark life.
Do you think that the Looney Tunes have some sacred satanic imagery that drew in Danzig?
I think he just maybe liked that the jokes were like sort of murder. Listen, sometimes I get sick of watching bloody murder, and I just like a drawing of murder. But someone's
you
like, I'm
guys-
all right.
Did you guys read about the Disney connection with this album?
No.
So
Right, yes.
He was on Rick Rubin's label, and he cut ties with Rick Rubin and the whole label. And in the process, he actually wrote Come to Silver for Johnny Cash, and then he had to not give it to Johnny Cash because Johnny Cash was associated with Rick Rubin's label. So then he went over to Hollywood Records or something, and that's owned by Disney. And Disney was like, whatever, you're Danzig, we've never heard of you. And then the album came out, and it's full of all these like sex and satanic references. Disney got mad, and then Tower Records put out their like Pulse magazine with an issue that had a picture of like satanic Mickey Mouse in front of Danzig Land instead of Disneyland.
Holy shit.
And then
That sounds
Disney got
awesome.
pissed, and I think that he got dropped from that label too, if I'm not
Wow.
mistaken.
Yeah.
I would go
What?
to Danzig Land.
Yes.
I know.
That sounds cool.
Satanic
Bansky
Mickey Mouse.
opened
I definitely want to go.
Here's the thing. Imagine being so fucking removed from reality that you're at a record label and you're like, Danzig. I don't know, just put it out. It's for the kids.
Yeah.
Danzig.
He'll behave.
I feel like
It's
they
fine.
would like if that happened now they would know him because wasn't he like going to be cast as Wolverine in the first
Yes.
X-Men movie?
What?
And like they
No
own
way.
all of Marvel now, so
I think they were doing.
I mean he can't do it now. He
No.
looks like a caveman.
When do you think was the last year that Danzig was allowed to play Wolverine?
I mean
It's
probably right
long time.
before
In a movie or
the
in his
seventh
living
album
room?
came out.
Is that why they
That
made-
age, yeah, the time is not up. He is 100% taking the plastic knives from delivery and going, snicked.
That's why the real reason they made Old Man Logan is because what's his face was tired of getting weird death threats from Danzig, be like, I'm the Wolverine. I'm the real Wolverine, you Australian fuck.
I love that. You didn't know that he was, that there was like a weird thing where they were trying to make Danzig Wolverine.
I like now thinking about it. I remember it, but it was like a very long time
was a
ago.
long time ago.
It was
yeah,
like
for
at
sure.
the end of the 80s. Like right after Batman came out, and then everyone was like, I guess superhero movies now forever. And we're still doing that.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, it was there was something about that. I remember there's like a video of him like reading a Wolverine book going like, "Oh, cool." It's so funny.
Somewhere in the distance, Kurt Hammett, it's like, that's bullshit.
He would.
Kirk Hammett
Totally would.
Kirk Hammett would be an incredible Kitty Pryde with that hair.
Aw,
I can see
he's
that.
just such a comic nerd. I just like, you
Yeah.
know, he's got opinions.
When I saw Metallica in London a couple weeks ago, he had like 4 different monster guitars that he pulled out. Like,
That's all he's
That's
got.
awesome.
it was adorable. I mean, like I always knew that in the back of my head, but I didn't fully understand. Like, no, he's still doing it, like with his like black fingernails and just like with his crazy ass guitars that were made for his specific nerdy tendencies.
Yeah, he didn't get like a cool shape or anything. He's like, just make sure it has a picture of the movie I like on it.
Yeah. Make sure you spend enough time.
Talk about nerds. This fucking album, huh?
Okay. So yeah, all right. Seventh House. Let's
Oh,
finish
yeah.
this up.
So-
This is supposed to be
It's really horny, right?
It's
There-
bad. Yeah.
aggressively horny.
It's a bad way to start.
I think he thinks it's going to be erotic, that he's like, you're going to fucking come, but it sounds like you're being yelled at by
What?
someone in a gas station. You're like, oh my God.
What year did this come
The-
out?
96.
The first lyric in the album is "I'm gonna make you come," right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
Like
my
right out of the
gun.
gate, dude. It's so
referring
fucked.
to his
Yeah.
dick as a gun.
The reason
Like, oh, make you come. And it just sounds like you're going to get like beat up in front of a truck.
I thought this song was about like, okay, so this is the 7th house that he bought, and he's masturbating in the house. And then he had the idea to make this song about him masturbating in his new house.
the reason I ask is, what year did Nine Inch Nails Downward Spiral?
93. So he
Because-
very much ripped it off.
Yeah, because like
100%.
he definitely saw Trent Reznor as the new hot like weird
Yeah.
goth, and he got he's like, well, if this guy can be horny on the TV, why can't I? Like,
It just didn't really work the same because, you know, Trent Reznor's being like, I want to feel you from the inside. And it's like kind of sexy. It's like something you can think about. Whereas he was just like, I'm going to make you come. And it's like, well, I don't know. Do you have those skills? I
and
don't
he's
know.
screaming it at you.
it feels like an aggressive Tinder message. It's just like,
I feel like I could do something like this. Like, I don't know, I'm going to jizz you like a bird jizz or whatever. You know?
I'm going to jizz you like a bird jizz.
Like a bird jizz, you know?
yeah.
say it one more time.
Blackbird.
It's my
jizz.
fault, everybody. I gave Jordan Yeager.
I know. Oh, this couch makes
Yeah.
my ass sweat.
That is another
We do need
lyric
a new
from this
couch.
song.
It was a new couch that he bought too.
So when I was listening to it earlier, I was realizing just how much it sounds like the Downward Spiral.
Yeah.
So I actually wrote down exactly which songs sound like Downward Spiral songs.
I had track 4 for that.
Seventh
Yes.
House
Yeah.
sounds like
Wow.
Heresy.
Yep.
Black Acid Devil sounds like March of the Pigs.
Oh my god.
See All You Were sounds like Reptile.
Yep.
And then Sacrifice sounds like he's trying to make closer lyrics, but it sounds like Pretty Hate Machine, Nine Inch Nails era. Yeah, it's just like, it's so clearly a ripoff, like with the same effect on his screamy voice and all
I'm
that
so
stuff.
glad that like, I'm not the only one who felt
Oh,
that.
totally.
But it's like he only got the drum beat, and then he was like, and I'm gonna shout into the distortion pedal. And
Yeah.
it's like, I'll do it by myself though. I don't need to hire musicians, I guess.
Yeah.
Totally.
Because the only person who's on this record all the way through, besides Danzig, is Joey Castillo.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I also have in the Nine Inch Nails thing on track 4. He keeps saying "peel it back." He like straight up is just using the same lyrics
That's
as
so
March
fucked
of the
up.
Pigs.
Wow.
It's really.
Yeah. It's like this. Yeah, it's
And track
very
4
weird.
is Sacrifice. Yeah, that's...
And you know what? He probably was like, listen, this Trent kid, I could throw him into the moon. Look at my arms.
Which is funny because now Trent has the same size arms and he's way taller.
I know.
Maybe that's why Trent got big. He's like, this fucking.
Like, Danzig's
nerd-
gonna try to throw me through a window if I don't
Yeah.
beef up.
You hear one of those letters he's been writing to Hugh Jackman about the Wolverine? I'm not safe.
All right. And any thoughts on Black Acid Devil, the song?
It just looks like
It
a
was
typo.
dumb. Yeah, it just like
I
someone failed their typing test.
I think the tom beat is really sick. The drums on this album sound awful though. It sounds real bad.
The mixing's weird,
It's-
right?
Yeah, it's probably because, my theory with this album is I think what we got going on here is Danzig's biggest hit ever came 6 years after he wrote it. It becomes a hit song 6 years later. So now, in this guy's mind, he's getting fame and the concept that he's 6 years ahead of society. So he thinks he's going to be a trendsetter. So he's just like doing what he's like, listen, follow me on this. It's going to be huge.
I'm making music that was already made 2 years prior.
Yeah.
Listen, there's nothing like this before. Okay?
Yeah, I was
Nothing
watching
by
these
him.
interviews with him where he's saying like, "Yeah, there's nothing. I'm doing new stuff. Blah blah blah," and it's like, no, nothing about what you're doing is new. Like there was like White Zombie. There's Marilyn
Yeah.
Manson.
Yeah.
There's so many bands that are doing the industrial thing. Like
Yeah.
Rammstein was out at that time.
I will say this album is not good, but I did halfway through get really high, and then I was like, "Hey, this is fine."
I mean,
It's like-
it took a while for. I also got really high to listen to it, and it definitely starts with him yelling that he's gonna make me come, and that did not make me feel really good.
Well, I didn't feel good, but then it just became like a nice drone in the background while I
Yeah.
could do projects.
That's That's true.
Yeah, that's
Takes a
fair.
few songs. That's
And to
how
be
I
fair, I
felt.
think if I hadn't heard all those other 90s industrial albums, maybe I would love it. Like, it's totally my shit. I absolutely love
Yeah, if I
goth
didn't-
industrial.
If I didn't know there was good versions of this, and this
Right.
was the only version of it I had ever heard, I'd be
Yeah.
like sick. But I think what it is it's perfect to pretend it's this kind of music in like a rave scene in Buffy or something.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's. I was
totally.
thinking like this is music that would be playing in the vampire nightclub in Blade.
Yes.
What do you?
Or like True Blood,
Yeah,
Fantasia, or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, like the more like country bluesy songs with a like rhythm like that.
Totally.
Fantasia.
Yeah.
You didn't
There you
watch
go.
True Blood?
I
Come
forgot.
on.
I forgot about that. Eric, what do you think? How did he come to this album?
I think it comes down to Rick Rubin. I think I think with his guidance, because I love Danzig. Like, I fucking really do love the guy, and I love those first 3 albums more than anything.
Yeah.
I think they're phenomenal. But like, he clearly had someone guiding him, and then you could see it like deteriorate when the Rick Rubin and American Recording situation goes away. Like you said, it's like his ego got in the way, and he was like, fuck him, I got this, like, I'm gonna do this. And I think, like people that aren't really artists will just, like, throw paint on a fucking canvas and be like, yeah, it's art. Like, that's just what it is. It's subjective. It's like he took all these different pieces from different styles of music and smashed them together and said it was innovative, but it was really bullshit. And, like, really misguided and terrible. And, like, it's not a pro-level recording. It's not pro-level songwriting. It's like, I've heard better bands at the fucking bar down my street, to be honest. It's like fucked up.
The drum beats.
It's a really bad album. I got stressed out listening to it.
Yeah.
The drum beats.
If I sound aggravated, it's because it made me mad.
Yeah. It's an aggravating listen. Like, it's long. It is repetitive. I do agree. I think there is a piece of this where I think there is a good songwriter in Danzig. I think we saw the best of his songwriting when he's working with Rick Rubin and he's actually listening to someone. But I think there was always an ego, but I think it's like a mixture of like ego and pressure and trying to do something new, but also it's weird that he still feels like he needs to do new things because he's had like 3 different eras of himself, each that have like a very intense following. Most people only get one of these, but Danzig's like, I'm gonna have a 4th one, and it's gonna happen in my 40s.
Well, I think certain egomaniacs, they want to be like respect. He sees himself as like a musician virtuoso and not what he is, which is motherfucking Danzig. He's like, he thinks he's pulling a Bowie or some shit. He's like, yeah, I'm like a genius because the devil and shit. And like he does, I think he really thought that people were gonna hear this and like shit their pants and not be like, this came out of Disney Station.
All the ladies were just going to spontaneously come when they listen to it.
Yeah,
everybody's-
immediately.
I put a note in there.
All the ladies
told
and all
them
the
to,
birds are gonna
so
jizz.
That's how it works. Burgess.
Burgess.
Oh my god.
I want to know
so
what he
dumb.
was going for with the album art for this album because it kind of reminds me of like a Resident Evil video game for some reason.
There's 2
you're
album
not
covers
wrong.
to this. Because there's the weird robot cartoon drawing, and then there's just a thing where it's just red. Like it's zoomed really close in on like something the Predator sees.
I'm talking about the other one, not the red one.
Yeah. I don't know. You also listened to a different version than we did because yours
I
had
didn't realize
3
that. Yeah. I
more
listened
songs.
to the 2000
What?
reissue, and there were 3 more songs, and all 3 of them are also bad.
Yeah, I actually listened to that one, like, because I couldn't get it load, but I did my research enough to understand I could skip them if I wanted. But as I said, I had imbibed, so
Yeah, I didn't
forgot to
realize.
skip them.
It took me a whole hour.
It's rough. Look, this album to me, it sounds like everything that a 13-year-old boy can do in a day, but if you recorded the sound of it and played it all at the same time. Just like
Yeah.
video
Yeah.
games, falling on a skateboard, talking to someone on a walkie-talkie.
Well, if you told me like some 17-year-olds made this album, I'd be like, they have a promising career ahead of them. But like a
Yes,
4-year-old
exactly.
man made this.
After
Yeah.
he put out some of the best records
Right.
of that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he sang for the fucking Misfits, and he wrote like 100 good songs with them. I'm
Yeah.
just like confused as to where that brain went.
Yeah.
Satan and drugs.
Yeah, I guess.
No,
so.
Making all the
Didn't do
ladies
any-
come, dude.
You didn't do drugs?
Danzig stopped. Danzig like apparently stopped. According to his Wikipedia, he stopped doing drugs and drinking when he was like 16 years old.
What?
That makes
He
sense
like
to me.
partied really hard for like
Until
2 years,
16.
and then he was like, "No, I'm getting clean."
They were interfering with his biceps.
Song after this is, or what do we got? What else we got on here?
Dipsy Doodle.
Yeah, Dipsy Doodle.
Dipsy
See
Demon.
All You Were. This is the first. This has Jerry Cantrell is on this record, you guys.
What?
Yeah.
From Alice in Chains.
Oh, that makes me sad.
Yeah, what?
For just this song, though,
Are
right?
you an Alice?
No,
No,
he's
3 songs.
So Alice in Chains is like my favorite band, pretty much.
Yeah.
And in track 7, the one that he was writing for Johnny Cash, Jerry Cantrell fucking rips a solo in it, and it's
Yeah.
actually awesome.
It's
and the
fucking
song
sick,
is
yeah.
dope, but Danzig's not good at singing it.
He doesn't. Oh, he's like okay on that song. Every time that
Yeah.
Danzig is soft singing on this album, it feels like I can breathe for a minute.
Yeah.
I like.
Oh man.
There's actually
Yeah.
an acoustic version of that song on Lost Tracks of Danzig, which I actually like a lot more.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Well, they blended the industrial at the beginning, and then an acoustic guitar comes in, and it
Yeah.
sounds terrible.
Yeah, it just like kind of comes out of nowhere, whereas the other one is
Yeah.
like specifically acoustic.
I would
Yeah,
love
it's
to
a
hear
good-
yeah.
just an acoustic version of this.
Yeah.
Because it's not a bad. It's not a bad. If it's just acoustic, it does feel like a weird
Yeah.
spiritual sister to like a Going Down to Die or something,
Mhm.
or that
That's
other
a good
song
one.
that he actually wrote for
13.
13. Yeah, for Johnny Cash.
And then he does his own version for some reason on the next album, which is not as good as Johnny Cash's version.
Getting some filler.
Yeah.
I will say that See All You Were, it has the. I will argue it is the only. It's the only time he finds a vocal effect that is sort of appropriate for his voice. I hate the distortion on his voice. It just does not do well with his yelling. It's just awful. It doesn't sound the way he thinks it sounds.
I agree.
But on this song, it's just like the weird, like underwater filtered bullshit is fine. It suits it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I'm just
That's a
trying
positive.
to. I was trying to figure out what are the lyrics like. What does that mean? See you all were, like, see you all were my fans.
See all you were.
See all you were,
Yeah.
my fans.
Yeah, all you.
I don't know. It sounds kind of desperate to me.
Yes, of course. It's very desperate.
I
This
took
is a
it
very
as like
desperate
looking
album.
back on the way you used to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Be all that
Yeah.
you were, and now you're not anymore because now you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, because now fuck you.
With all due respect, fuck
You don't believe in werewolves no more. Fuck you. Did you like anything on this song, Eric?
I have in my notes, it sounds like a teenager writing a Deftones song.
Yes. Oh my god, that's exactly what it is.
Once again, if
Yeah.
you just gave me this mixtape and told me that two 17-year-olds made it, I'm like, huh, they're pretty upset.
Yeah, the promising career, for sure.
They might actually be having sex.
When these guys have sex and they come up with a bounce riff to them, they go to the top of the chain.
To the moon.
To the moon.
I thought this was what you were getting at.
To the moon, Henry. All right. Hin of Her Blood. I don't remember this one at all.
Oh,
I
it's
don't
alright.
either.
It's okay.
All these
It
kind
is
of blend
this
together. I'm not prepared to go through them one by one because I couldn't tell you
That's
the
fair.
I
difference.
will
between a lot of
say,
them.
yeah, it starts getting a little blurry
Yeah.
after we get
This
after
is-
the aggressive sexual lyrics of the opening.
I mean,
Yeah.
Serpentia was pretty good though. I kind of liked that song.
it starts very sexy.
Yeah.
Serpentia makes me think, like, has he seen the movie Possession starring Sam Neill?
Yeah, movie rules.
Like, because it seems like he's into, like, tentacle porn or something like that.
Oh,
I-
he is.
Right?
He loves like anime and shit. Like that's not
Does
even a
he?
joke. Like
Okay, I believe that.
I hate the new dub of Evangelion. It's not as good as the original one.
Well,
Netflix fucked up.
his 8th album, Circle of Snakes, has a similar cover to the Possession poster.
You're right. I think he also the song Possession.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Yeah. All right. Come to Silver. This is the other. This is we were talking. This is the Johnny Cash one.
Yeah.
yeah.
The
Or was supposed to
solo
be for-
is really sick on this. I think.
This clearly was like a song that was written separate from the rest of this album because it did stand out to me and it seemed a little more put together and thought out than the other tracks.
I think like this and Ashes are I was like pretty good. These are okay. This is
Yeah.
I liked Ashes.
I liked Ashes.
Yeah, Ashes is cool. It's got like a very slow build. I'm a sucker for a slow build in a song.
This is also the only time the best song on the album is the last song. Because Danzig is, even on the first 3 records, I feel like he kind of biffs it with whatever the last song is.
Oh yeah.
It's never, I'm like, this is how it's ending? All right.
I think we've talked about it on the podcast before where like sometimes in the 90s I think they just sort of shoved the worst songs to the end because they just figured you wouldn't listen that long.
Yeah.
Like the CD would just live in your car and
That's
then you would
absolutely
just like play
right.
it on
The
your
B-sides.
on your trip to the store and back and then like you would never get to the end.
Yeah.
Like even pop albums of the 90s were like that. So it's interesting that this one actually has a pretty damn good closer.
It's a good, it's
I do
Yeah.
stand firm that is a Mr. Magoo decision. That like he like it was not thought that way. He was just like you put Ashes at the end because it's like when you're cremated and you're dead.
He looks like a young Mr. Magoo now.
Yeah.
yeah.
He has a similar face, I think.
So you know he can't be Wolverine, but he could be in the live action Mr. Magoo.
You just gotta shave his head and he's good.
Yeah.
He's never gonna do that though.
It'll never happen.
He never will. We just gotta wait a little bit. Did we talk about Sacrifice?
No, we didn't talk about Sacrifice. That's the single from this album, right?
I don't know. Is it?
We talked
Yeah,
about it a little bit because
it was
we talked
the- it
about
was the
how
single.
it sounds like closer.
Oh, right.
Or it sounds like closer lyrics, but like Pretty Hate Machine synths.
Can we talk about
Well, there's one thing I wanted to say about
Yes.
Sacrifice, and that it's not the best name for a song, but there are 2 good metal songs called Sacrifice
that aren't this?
that aren't this.
Motorhead?
It happened before this, and it's Sacrifice by Venom.
Yep.
And Sacrifice by Black Widow.
Do you have a listicle of top 10 sacrifices?
Me?
Oh, I
Oh,
was
Ryan.
right.
No. I'll work on it tonight.
Get on it.
They didn't tell you need to bring that? That's crazy.
Sacrifice for the Slaughter God. Isn't that a skeleton witch?
Probably.
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
I'll think about it. I'll get back to you.
I think
Better.
was this the first time that, because after this it happens so many times throughout history, is this the first time that a punk legend goes, I don't want to play punk no more, and tries to do industrial and makes everybody mad at him? Is this the first time this happens?
No, not at all. I mean, not necessarily industrial, but like, I mean, Pete Shelley from the Buzzcocks was like, I have to go be gay for a little bit, and did
Yeah.
a solo album that was like a dance album, and people were like, the fuck is this?
That's I think it's specifically like industrial goth shit, like, because what American Nightmare does that with like Cold Cave. AFI also did that, who was just the Misfits sequel.
That's true.
Slapshot from Boston, the hardcore band, they
Yeah.
put out an album called Blast Furnace in the early 90s and tried to do
Yeah.
a little industrial thing. It's rough.
I haven't heard the Buzzcock record, but for this, I was like, oh, this might have started the trend of just like, nah, computers now.
I feel like
Get away from me.
I feel like a lot of like musicians in general have done that though, where they're just like, you know, you shred for too long and then you're just like, I want to play with a Game Boy.
I think that there's, in every generation of music, there is something that punks do when they get tired of playing punk. And it used to be alt country.
Oh my
And
god,
now,
that's so true.
now
Yeah.
we're having like the whole gothy witchy thing is like
Yeah.
really hip right now.
That is
so
true.
So
they realize
spooky lately.
Yeah, totally.
I'm
And
into
so
Spirit Halloween is year round.
Man, it's frightening in LA lately.
I think a lot of them just realize that they can make more money off of it. So, and also, I'm sure it gets tiring, like playing fast, angry songs and being pissed off all the time. Like, it's fun to dance. It's fun to listen to music that makes you want to bone. I don't know.
Eric, when did you like Danzig is a weird is such a weird musician and a very specific sounding thing. Like he sounds very goofy and weird anyway. So I feel like people who love him for very specific reasons.
Okay, I get that.
He's an acquired taste, like a bizarre wine. So like, what do you love about Danzig? And like, did you see stuff sort of disappearing during Danzig 4, or did it just get to this album and you were like, oh shit?
I don't think I consistently really followed Danzig. So I've always been like I said, I found out about Danzig, but as soon as I found out the Misfits, they're like I'm obsessed with early Misfits. I have like a bunch of collector shit and whatever. I just love them. They're one of my favorite bands. But when I found like Danzig 1 through 3, I was listening to all the time. I still do to this day. And the other ones I've like, so like I was probably finding out about those later in the 90s and listening to them, and I just like at that point was just like, I can't listen to shit like this. This is god awful, you know what I mean? So, but I always listen to the first 3 albums. I still listen to the Misfits, but like to be honest, I didn't even fucking give any of these a shot. Like I've heard 5 as a joke. But like when you hit me up to listen to it today, I had only heard like 1 or 2 songs, and it really freaked me out. I like Danzig a lot, and I'm like super bummed out today.
Oh wow, you ruined his day.
I ruined this guy's day. I'm sorry.
He bought a Bob Seger bucket hat. He should be walking on cloud 9.
Look what Patreon has done to us.
It's like I just pretend the newer, like every time something comes out, like that song Juju Bone came out. There was like all these weird songs coming out for like decades now, and I've been pretending they don't exist for like 15 years.
Yeah,
consistently. Yeah, I like ignoring them.
That's what you gotta do sometimes.
Meanwhile, Ryan over here is like fucking coward.
Yeah. The only track that I've listened to since I first downloaded it is Hand of Doom, and it's a cover of a Black Sabbath song, which I didn't realize has different lyrics than the Black Sabbath version. And I just looked them up on the internet, and it's just about him like cutting someone open and like crawling inside of them and then like getting hard or something like that.
What
Did you read the lyrics?
No.
I didn't realize that until just now.
Maybe he's talking about a tauntaun.
Yeah.
Did nobody else thought that was kind of hot? I thought they were sexy on the outside. What a dumb bit. Yeah, but no, like the Misfits are also like the Misfits are my favorite band. I'm also like I'm literally wearing like an original fucking Fiend Skulls shirt because I've been tracking this down forever.
It's an original.
One of the shitty ones.
Oh my god.
From just like a jersey like it looks like shit.
Did you get it on eBay?
Yeah.
How much did you have to pay for it?
Like $120.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I wanted
That's
it.
nuts.
Does it say anything on the back?
Huh?
Does it say anything on the back?
Yeah, I have
Fiend
never seen
Club.
Oh, that
before,
one's
so I
fucking
guess it's
dope.
worth
Yeah,
it.
I love the like original like just Crimson Ghost like Fiend Skull.
Yeah.
But I hate the new ones that say the logo on the shoulders and the back.
Yeah.
And I judge people by the backs of their Misfit shirts because you gotta.
That's all like Jerry
Yeah,
only Misfits merch, isn't it?
Yeah. If it says Misfits on the back.
Yeah.
I'll buy like a bootleg one from like a random kid
Right.
over like an official one that has the name for sure.
Yeah. I only bought this one because it has like it's like the original shitty drawing of it where the eyes
Yeah,
are
it's
kind of
awesome.
wonky. Like he kind of looks like my friend George, where where the eyes are a little too far apart.
Yeah, he kind of looks like he's like doing a teenage eye roll, like, oh, mom.
Listen, we get it, Jordan. You're very wealthy and can buy a $120 T-shirt.
Listen, I can
Must
buy
be
that,
nice.
but I can't do a lot of other things because of that.
You heard it. He's too good for you guys and his $120 Misfit T-shirt, eating golden popcorn chicken on a throne.
Ooh.
I'm eating a chopped up sweet potato that my roommate showed me how to make.
Talking about me like I'm not right here.
Yeah. Eric, what's your favorite piece of Danzig merch that you've made?
That I've made?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I saw you had sweatpants.
I'm trying to think of.
recently.
The Thrall Demon sweatpants are so
Yeah,
fun.
I'm looking at those right now, but I can't. I mean, like I said, I can't see it. So, but yeah, if you're on
This is
my
also a
page, I made
podcast, you
Danzig
can't see it.
sweatpants.
I'm gonna look that.
I also made a Danzig logo with like Mickey Mouse ears, and it said Danzig in the Disney fonts. And Live Nation sent me a cease and desist like immediately.
Wow.
He doesn't have creative control over any of his skulls. He has two iconic skulls. He didn't own either of them.
Wow.
Damn.
That's crazy.
It's so rough.
It's so
'Cause,
rough.
like,
I love the Franzig shirt, which is
oh, you know what? That is my favorite one. I forgot about that. But yeah,
it's a.
yeah, that's just.
Do you want to explain what the Franzig shirt
Is
is?
it Fran Dresser?
It should
It's
be.
just Franzia wine in the Crimson Ghost skull. Sometimes I just see how
That's amazing.
stupid I can
Yeah.
make shirts.
That sounds really classy.
And yeah, me and my friend John were out drinking one day, and we just used to just come up with the dumbest ideas just to see who could outdo each other. And we came up with that one night. And I never thought I would be able to print it because there wasn't like a way to do it back then, like really. But
Yeah.
now that there's like digital printing, I can like get it done easily and not like spend $1 million on like the dumbest T-shirt of all time. So.
I make the 2 Minutes to Late Night merch guy make me dumb shirts all the time.
Yeah.
And
It's so
he's-
fun.
Yeah, I send him. I'm
Inside
like,
joke T-shirts are now like my main mode of clothing because of our fucking show.
yeah, because I will send stuff to him. He's like, I can't print this. I'm like, just get one done, and just don't mass print. It'll be fine. Like I made him make me a Billy Joel T-shirt that just says, "There are no good KKK members. There are no good Nazis." At the bottom, it's so much fun, man. And you
It's a
actually
blast.
and you get to actually pay your rent with that. You son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's very fun. I've always just loved dumb T-shirts ever since like even like Big Johnson shirts and like bullshit like that in the 90s and like I worked construction for like 10 years and didn't do shit with that and like I played in bands or whatever and then I ended up in a fucking CD warehouse folding T-shirts at like age 29 and was like, wow, I'm making $10 an hour. Like, what the hell is happening? And now that I find out that was all training for me to like fold fucking T-shirts for like forever. Like I literally, my like crappy job prepared me to like, I had no idea it was about to prepare me for like literally what I do. I sit here and fold fucking T-shirts for a living. It's great.
That's my first job ever when I was 15 years old was working at Hot Topic. Surprise.
Oh, nice. I love that.
And I would just like try to sell like the shirts, but every time like my manager would be like, Jordan, you got to fold the shirts. I was like, here's the thing, I'm not doing it. Yep, that was it. And they were like,
That's it.
they didn't ever fire me, but of any job they should have. 'Cause I wasn't folding the shirts. I was stealing. It was bad.
Yep.
Yeah, I was being such a little bastard.
You're not stealing from Hot Topic. What are you even doing there?
Exactly. They have to know that if anyone manages a Hot Topic, you already know that all of your employees are stealing from you. You know this.
You either know that
I want.
or you're
I want
banging
the hot-
15-year-olds at the food court.
What's up, man?
Oh, I was saying I want now that it's over a decade later, I want the Hot Topic in Braintree, Massachusetts to know that I stole a death threat CD from you and that I'm sorry.
You think they're listening?
I want
They're listening.
Shout out.
You're gonna get a bill for like $12.99 in the mail.
I know. I'm gonna get like summoned to court.
Yeah. I would like to apologize to the Wet Seal in the Flatiron Mall in Colorado. I stole a lot of sunglasses from you guys. I'm sorry. That's probably like $40 total. I'm sorry. Ryan, have you stolen from a shirt store before?
No,
or like
I've
any
never
store?
stolen anything.
Really?
The one time I tried to steal something, I was really young. It was Toys R Us, and I was trying to steal a Rocco's Modern Life magnet from a birthday card. And I folded it up and I put it in my pocket. And we were waiting in line to check out. And then I ran back and I put it back because I was so freaked out. I just felt really guilty even though nothing happened. And I had already fucked the magnet up. I folded a magnet. Like, I've never done that before. I thought I'd be able to get it out with me easier. I just ruined the magnet and put it back.
You broke something.
Yeah, pretty much. It's worse. Someone
I
else
went to the
would
store
have
and
to
broke
buy
something
that.
one time.
You just ruined something for
Yeah.
someone else.
Yeah, so sorry to the Toys R Us in Queens.
You put them out of business, Ryan. You put them out of business. It was the magnet that broke the giant's back.
You tried to meet Guy Fieri. Can you talk about that? Guy Fieri is the Danzig of kitchens.
I thought it was Fieri.
It is
Fieri.
It is.
His name is Guy Fire.
Guy Fire, I choose you.
What was up with the Guy Fieri day? Were you just waiting in line to meet Guy Fieri?
No, so I live very close to the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and he was getting his star, and I saw in the news that he was gonna get his star. So I mean, I'm like, well, I gotta go down there and like, I'm just like gonna live stream it and bullshit or whatever, because I always joke about Guy Fieri shit. And I went down and I have this really awesome satanic Guy Fieri like pentagram flag that me and my friend Lard Humongous put out, and I'm like, I'm just gonna bring this down there and fucking stand on something and just hold it up in the air. And like, I went down there and I was like climbing on shit and just like holding it up, and I was trying to get like a funny photo of like me holding it with him like getting his star or whatever, like me in the background. But there was mad cops and they kept fucking yelling at me. So I'm like, fuck, man. I'm like, this is like a bust, But I'm like, there's a bar right there, so I'm like, I can wait this out, without like standing around being like a fucking actual maniac. So I like went and had a beer, and like the ceremony ended, and like people were clearing out, but like he was still there, like tucked in a corner, like talking to his friends, and we were walking by, like heading back to my place, and I just held up the flag. It was like, yo. And he looked over and he just went, "Oh, that's awesome!" And just like started gravitating towards me and my girlfriend. And I'm like, "Oh my fucking god!" Like, start recording immediately. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen right now, but you need to record all of it. And he didn't say. He was like, "Oh, that's so cool." And I was wearing a Guy Fieri shirt too, and he signed them both, and I didn't ask him to sign them at all. I was like. He leaned in and signed the forehead of his face on my t-shirt. And I didn't ask him to do that. He just did it. And then he did the same thing to my flag. And I'm super psyched he did it, but it was very weird. And then I'm like, we need a fucking picture. Like, there's no way anyone's going to believe this. And he was super cool, actually. And I had, like, tons of guilt for making fun of him afterwards, because I was like, that was one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. So I'm very pro Guy Fieri these days.
I mean, he's living his actual dream.
Yeah.
We
that's
should
Yeah.
all
true.
be so lucky.
I'm a little confused by the Guy Fieri hate. I gotta be honest. Like,
I never hated him, but he's such a goober that it was like fun to just like
Totally.
make like
Yeah,
stupid
it's got
shit
some good
designs,
shit.
he's definitely a goober,
But then I was
he's
like,
just, like,
he
so
like goes out of his
excited.
way for charity and shit, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Katie, your friend.
Shane Torres has a
Torres.
really notorious joke about how he can't understand why people hate Guy Fieri because he's just like a man living his dream.
Yeah.
A dude who makes a lot of fried shit. I like that.
Yeah.
I think at this point he's like pretty loved and definitely embraces his like meme, and I think it's just like a back and forth relationship. Like, he's still popular because people are like curious about him or like to joke about him, you know?
I think that's what Danzig has got to do. Just lean into it, man.
Definitely.
He will never
can't.
lean into
No.
it.
I know, but he should just fucking sell kitty litter and help get a Looney Tunes movie made, man. Come on.
That would be
Takes it
incredible.
Very seriously.
I think he
You
needs-
get free kitty litter and you get to probably be in a Looney Tunes.
What
That'd
would
be great.
Danzig's kitty litter be called?
Oh.
Fresh scoop.
Wicked Pussycat.
Oh my
You
god.
guys know that that's the name of a Danzig song, right?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
I did not know
I
that.
did not know that.
It's from Danzig 777 I Luciferi.
Is that the one where he's got the claw gloves in the front?
Yes.
Cool.
Well, you
You're
can
in
put
for a
that on the
treat.
front of the cat litter too.
Oh wait, I do know this song. I watched MTV2 one time. The first thing I ever saw from Danzig that wasn't the Misfits was him with those fucking gloves, and he was singing a song that was just like, "Hey, pussycat, do 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 do."
Yep, that's that
Do-do-do-do-do.
song.
And so yeah, you could just make that the litter jingle, just like, "Hey there, pussycat, I got your litter."
It would be a viral YouTube video immediately.
And then he can go on Jericho's podcast and they can sell cat litter together.
Boom.
Oh my god.
Yeah, my two dads.
Listen, John Christ, I want to let you finish that guitar solo, but first I want to talk about my kitty litter.
How many cats does he have? Does anyone know?
No.
I'm curious.
Should we send a welfare check on Danzig's cats? Is that what you're implying?
Yeah, for sure. He needs it.
Ryan, have you gotten to see the Misfits reunion? yet?
No, I have
Okay.
not.
Oh shit.
I know.
Eric,
but I've
did-
seen him do a Danzig set with Doyle and
Yeah.
not without Jerry only, and that was fine.
Yeah. You're not.
You know,
Yeah.
mean, I don't want to pay like $100-something to see it. I saw them play all the songs that I wanted to see them play, so I'm okay.
Yeah, fair. That's super fair.
Yeah.
Eric.
Yeah, I've seen him twice already.
Yeah. I loved it. I mean, I know it was one of those things like in my head, I'm like, I know it's literally just that Jerry's here, like Uncle Jerry has got to be up there looking like a bad guy from the Beetleborgs. But I loved it because you got him.
I fucking loved it too, man. It was so good.
Yeah.
I everyone's like, how did he sound? I was like, I have no fucking idea. It was awesome.
I am curious. I've seen Jerry only performing as the Misfits, just Jerry only.
I have seen that
and
too.
that was really boring. But the Addicts opened for them, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then I saw Danzig, and then I saw Danzig with Doyle, and they did the Misfit stuff.
yeah.
So that was the best of the things that I've seen so far. So
For
I
sure.
guess maybe we'll see how many shows they're playing. I mean, there's not going to be many more. It sounds like.
Yeah.
They're playing Psycho Vegas.
Yeah. I know
Yeah.
that.
We get to
That'll be.
we're
my-
on the same poster
I
as
know.
Aren't you guys
Yeah.
on the same day? Like, is he gonna kill
No.
you?
I have so much concerns about Danzig finding us and ending our life. Luckily, I saw after I watched that video of him taking that punch a few times. I feel like we can like turn
we're all
into.
taller than him. It's fine.
Yeah. Most people
I'm not.
are.
All right. We haven't talked about this album in like a half an hour. Let's do let's do favorite song.
Okay.
Hand of Doom.
Hand of
Does
Doom.
that count? Am I allowed to
Yeah.
count that?
How do we didn't talk about the cover? Kat, you had thoughts on this cover?
Yeah, I really, really love it. In fact, I think it's my favorite on the album too. Mostly because it's an actual cover and not just like a song that sounds like he's ripping somebody off.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, no,
Totally.
this is fully a cover, just with different lyrics. Also, I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like the bass is like a full octave lower than the original. And it's like serious brown note status. Like, I think the bass in that song is like weirdly awesome. Did
gotta
you guys
listen.
hear
Yeah.
that?
It didn't
Like-
make me poop.
Like it's so rumbly and evil sounding.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really effective for a Black Sabbath song.
Yeah. I agree.
And his vocals were like kind of cool on it.
You know,
I don't have anything more eloquent to say about it, but it
I
made me happy.
I realized last night that I heard his version before I knew that was a Sabbath song, and the way that I found that out is because I read about it on Wikipedia.
Don't you have a
Like
Black
back
Sabbath?
when I first
Don't you have
downloaded
a Black Sabbath tattoo?
Yeah,
on your
now.
Okay.
It would be hard. I feel like it would be.
I
That's
was
why I
I
had
was
to listen
freshman
to
in
Hand-
college, so I didn't know any better.
I had to listen to Hand of Doom by Black Sabbath because I was like, "Is this actually a cover?"
Yeah,
I had
that's
no
exactly what
idea.
I did.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like it's not the same. What did you think about it, Eric?
I liked it all right. I pulled up the Black Sabbath one too, which was like 3 minutes longer.
Yeah.
But I agree. Like the fact that it was an actual cover and not just a bullshitty like filler like copycat thing was pretty cool. And it sounded dope. It sounded good because the melody was written by someone else. So it sounded awesome.
Danzig does a lot of good covers. I don't know if you guys have heard his Cat People cover.
No, that can't be good.
It's good. I mean, maybe you won't think it's good, but I think it's good. And it could also be the name of his litter.
David Bowie.
Yeah.
Cat
Pussycat Cat People litter.
Yeah, I love this. I want him to get it just a store called Cat People.
Yeah, are us.
Just cat litter and Danzig coffin-shaped cat boxes.
Ooh,
I'd buy that.
Coffin litter box. I like
Bricks.
that.
Lots
Make
of
it.
bricks.
That's my idea for you, sir. Put it on the internet.
Next week, guys. Done.
Is this a Shark Tank? I have pitches.
All right.
Oh my god.
Favorite song, Eric?
The last one, I was great. Whatever that was called.
Ashes. Yeah, that was
Ashes.
going to be my pick, too.
Yep,
Yeah, I
mine
liked
too.
it. At one point, he sang a little too high, and it got awkward, but it was pretty good.
Trying to see there. So there, I heard 3 songs that are not on the original.
Yeah,
release.
talk about these songs. Were they?
One of them is called Deeper. One of
Yeah.
them is called Bleed Angel, and one of them is called Don't Be Afraid. And they're all bad.
Yeah, they're all
I feel like
terrible.
all those are creepy
they're
songs
worse.
about sex, the same way that the first song is.
yeah,
Did
for
you
sure.
not like the first song?
They kind of do. I remember the last song is definitely worse than Ashes. The Don't Be Afraid, and it ends like it sounds like it's like a clown like turning the lights out and going to bed.
What the fuck?
That's what I was picturing when I was listening to it.
Wait, a clown is turning the lights out and
Still,
going
yeah,
to bed?
still dressed as a clown, but turning the lights off and then just going to sleep, dressed as a clown.
All right.
It's a bad song.
I've had to do that after we've shot a couple of times.
It's different though.
So I guess I might have to. Maybe I'll relate to it. I'll listen to it.
Give it a shot. I don't highly recommend it, but whatever.
You are a spooky clown, Jordan.
Yeah. Why do you? So this album, he re-released this album. Yeah. It's like 2 years after it, and now this album doesn't exist in the human world.
I think it was 4
It
years
only
after
exists
it.
in Kazaa and YouTube.
Yeah. A weird YouTube playlist with a whole bunch of different bootleg videos.
Yeah.
I think it's a combination of the Disney thing, which originally erased it, and then, just Danzig being like butthurt that people didn't praise him as a sex god after it came out. So he was just like, no, it's got to be banished to the Negaverse.
Do you know why they're all not on Spotify or anything?
I think they are.
No, they're not.
6 is.
Six is not.
6 is not, yeah. I don't think 7 is either, but 7 I actually kind of liked. I'm going to say that now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to yell at you when we're done listening to
Most of the songs sound like they could be used in like a wrestler's intro. That's all
Okay.
I'm going to say.
that. Fair enough. I like that shit.
Yeah, I figured you would.
I like a dumb riff. I like being excited.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Eric, do you know why none of the albums are gone or are on Spotify or anything?
I mean, I would guess because of the Hollywood Records thing, but you said he re-released it though, right?
Yeah,
Or
so I don't.
did-
re-released it in 2000.
So that's
but
confusing.
I don't know what record label
Yeah,
it was.
it was still re-released in like pre-streaming time. So
Yeah.
who knows what the fuck?
It's like I don't understand how he thinks he's fucking fooling everyone if he's hiding it. Like you can't name your albums after numbers,
Yeah.
and then take one away. Like we're gonna
That is true.
No, that's how you count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9.
yeah, like, you can't just sneaky like slip it out, dude. Like we're counting.
All right. Let's plugs, everybody. Plugs.
Oh, you can find me on Twitter at Katie Rose or Instagram at Oh Hello Katie Rose. Hey, you like anime? I know you do. Please listen to my other podcast I do with our shit boy Jeremy Hammond. It's called Ballin' Out
Super.
Thank you. Arf. I feel so supported and loved by my fans. Who else? Who's next?
Oh, yeah.
You can find me on Twitter at Cat Jones Soda and on Instagram at Cat Jones with 3 O's.
Cat Jones.
There
Cat
you go.
Jones. I forgot.
Oh, no.
I was like, oh no, I don't have my backup here.
I'm so sorry. It was the Jaeger.
It's my fault. I pushed it on y'all.
The Jaeger took the bit.
I'm gonna plug. I'm doing a listener show, my second listener show on Gimme Radio.
Cool.
Saturday, July 27th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's gonna be good. Also, listen to my girlfriend's doom metal band Sister Thieves. They just released their first EP on Spotify, and also follow my Danzig Greatest Hits playlist on Spotify. It's called Danzig Motherfucker with a period. So, that's all I ask.
That sounds.
Will do.
I'm actually going to do that.
Yeah.
I will
You
follow
should.
all those things. That all sounds great.
You're welcome.
Eric, plug your shit.
I'm on Instagram at Methsyndicate, like the drug. I named it a long time ago. I didn't think about what I was doing, but here we are. And shout out to my buddy Jerry Montano, who played bass on Danzig 7. Don't kill me. I love you.
Oh, shit.
Told you 7 is good. I said that, didn't
I was
I?
very happy when you were praising it.
There are some okay songs on there. Wrestlers would walk out to them.
Oh, my God.
I do want to get choke slammed out of this world. So.
Well, you might be able to when Danzig sees you at Vegas.
Finally. I'll
love
just be
it.
like, end my life now. This is how.
Yeah.
Do it for the show, for the content.
He'll be like, I heard the ladies like this.
And there goes Katie. All right. All right, guys. Follow my dog on Instagram at Great Hambino. Follow the show on Instagram at 2 Minutes Late Night. Follow us on Twitter at 2M2LN. Please donate to our Patreon because we're still doing shit. The season's over, but we got a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out. We're doing fun stuff like Psycho Vegas. We're going to be at Fest. It's going to whip ass. HonorableSwords.com. You can't buy a sword, but you can help make this show. That's it. This album is called Black Acid Devil. Goodbye!
Bye.
Bye.